So welcome to the Chapter 4 activity, which is called Blue Moon. This is a little bit of a weird one, but as I said in the last video, this is where things get real useful in the computer science world, and you're working with data, and it's just useful for a lot of different fields. So regardless of if you're doing computer science, you might use it in engineering. You could probably use it in architecture. This is a tool for you to use. If you use it, great. If not, that's not a problem. You have more skills, which makes you a more qualified, more well-rounded person, and it puts you ahead of just about everyone else, because now you have a skill that other people might not have. But anyway, what you learned about in Chapter 4 were these conditional operators, these logical operators, and or not, and then these statements if, elif, which is else if, and else. And I'll explain these as we go through the activity as well. So this is a crazy one. What we're going to do is we're going to write a program that asks a user if there's a blue moon right now or tonight, what day of the week it is, and what day of the month it is. And then based on those answers, the program is going to recommend a song. Once in a Blue Moon, Manic Monday, all these other ones. I don't know if I know most of these. I know Manic Monday. And then if none of these, then it's going to be Daydream Believer, which I know that one too. And here's an example of output. So the program will ask if it's blue moon, and the user says yes. Then the user says it's Sunday, and the user says it's the 4th, and then the program is recommending play the song Once in a Blue Moon for whatever reason. But that's what we're being asked to do, so we're going to do it. Your first task is to prompt the user for 3 input values. Use the input function. We did this in the last activity as well. The input function to display the question prompt and to receive the string answer. Okay, so we're going to start your Python code. Yeah, this is number 1. Start your Python code with a comment at the top showing your name. So we've done this enough times already. So I'm putting my name. The computer sees this comment, this format, and it goes, I'm not going to do anything with that. I'm going to go on to the next line. And for good practice, I'm also going to, it's not in the requirements, but I'm going to do what coders do, and I'm going to explain what the intention of the code is to do. Prints or asks user asks user, how it would say, asks user questions, and then prints out. I don't know where my little face is over here. Prints out. I'll go to the next line then. Prints out song recommendation. Cool. So that's number 1. Number 2, store the blue moon yes/no response in the variable blue moon. So that's where we're going to get the computer to ask, is there a blue moon tonight, yes or no? And then we're asking the user to type in yes or no. So what we're doing, so we're asked to make a variable. Okay, so blue moon. We're going to write it in exactly with the capital M. Okay, if a lowercase m makes up an entirely different variable. So blue moon equals, and we're storing, what we're going to get is a yes or a no string, and we're storing that in blue moon. So blue moon input to get the user's input, and we're going to type out the question, is there a blue moon tonight, yes or no? And I'll just copy that. Is there a blue moon tonight, yes or no? And I'll put a little bit of a space. Okay, so let's just see what that looks like. Run. Oh, here we go. It prints to the screen, and then we'll say yes. And then here the program's done. There's nothing else here. So we're going to do that for weekday and day of month. Okay, so weekday is another variable, and we're going to store some data in it. So I need that equal sign there. And we're going to do input, and we'll put in, we'll have the quotations and the string. Here it is. What is the day of the week? Monday to Sunday. And a space there. Good. And then, so it's getting a little bit long here. There we go. And then another one is day of month. So day, whoops, no spaces in variable names. Day of month equals, and that's going to be whatever day of the month it is according to the user. Input, and we're asking the question what day of the month it is. Cool. Let's again see what happens here. No, it's not a blue moon. As I do this video, it is Sunday, and what date it is as of today when I'm filming this, it's the 17th. And then the code is done. But what's happened is that the computer has taken these responses. It's taken no, it's stored it into blue moon. It's taken Sunday, it stored it into weekday, and it took 17 and it stored it into day of month. So that is number 2, 3, and 4. Now what's going on here? Don't forget to use integer function to convert the user's day of the month response to an integer number when assigning the value to day of month. Ooh, so what's going on here? Well, because we're going to be using conditional statements later, such as, like right here, we're going to see if whatever number was put in, like 17, is less than or equal to 7. But right now it's a string. Right now it looks like this, 17 with the quotes. The computer reads this and it goes, oh, you know, it's almost like the word 17. It can't compare, you know, 17 to the string 17 to the string 18. It just sees, well, actually it can, but I'm not going to go into that. It just sees like two words. Like you can't compare moon and Wednesday. That doesn't make sense. You can technically compare them, their value, but I'm not going to go into that. If you want to compare the number 17 and the number 18, they need to look like this. Okay, but what's going into day of month is a string. So what they're asking us to do is to convert whatever was input here. They want us to convert it into an integer. So we're going to type in int, and everything works inside to out. So this is printed, this question, and then we get an answer of, for example, 17. So the word 17, the string 17, that's what this becomes. And then we're turning that into an integer, the number 17, like this. So it turns this into this. And this number right here is stored into days of month. That's what they're asking us to do, so we can compare the numbers later. Okay, that was a lot there. Once you have successfully gathered the user's input and initialize the variables, we did that, you will need to write the if, else logic to meet the program requirements. There are multiple ways you could write your code to get the same results. However, the activity requirements give you some useful guidance that can be closely followed. Okay, we'll see. Use the bulleted steps listed in activity requirements, where's that? Oh, that's up here. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so we'll get to that. Use that list to guide your work. The if, else if, and else state phrases are strong hints to use Python. If, else if, else statements to test conditions and perform the work. Use indentations of the bulleted steps as strong hints as to which statements should be nested inside of other statements. For example, the if, else if, else series of tests around the week, Monday, Tuesday, etc., should be entirely contained within a block of code. I'm going to explain all of this, just reading it right now. Then a block of code that runs only when the day of the month is less than or equal to 7. And finally, ensure that every possible path through your program produces some song title output as described by the activity requirements. If the user enters a valid integer number for the last question, there should be no path through the code that does not produce the output. Okay, we're going to do this. And the way that it's laid out here tries to minimize the amount of work that we do. Okay, so let's start with this. So if blue moon, I gotta get that exact same variable name, gotta match exactly, all the capitals or lowercase. if that is equal to, and that's two equal signs, that's one of the three conditional operators here. If whatever's in Blue Moon is the same thing as yes, whoop, not ye, yes, and then we put, let me just confirm, I think we put a colon. Yes, we put a colon. If this occurs, then we're going to always display the song once in a blue moon. So does it recommend how we want to do that? I don't want to complicate things too much here. Yeah, okay, so we're going to say, whoops, we're going to print play song once in a blue moon. Now notice here that here I have double quotes on the outside and then single quotes. Because I have double quotes enclosing the string, the computer's not going to get confused by these single quotes. But if you had single quotes out here, look at how all the colors change. So now it's confused. It sees a single quote, sees it close. So if you're going to use quotes, you've got to use different quotes here. There we go. So let's just see that. I'm going to type in yes. Let's just see this work. Day of the week, doesn't matter right now. There we go. It says play song once in blue moon because we said yes. Now, if we said no, it's actually not going to do anything. It's going to come out blank because the condition was not met. So yes equals yes. So that is true. And so this is printed. Now, if that ends up being false, then the computer goes on to the next one. So it says, okay, else if. So if it's not a blue moon, then it's going to start checking the other thing, the other condition. So else if, so we have weekday. So this is where we got a bit of typing to do, but copy and paste, right? If weekday equals, we gotta type all this in, Monday. We'll type the first one and then we can just copy and paste most of it. Oh, colon. So if this ends up being no, then we check this, and if this ends up being true, then we're going to print. Here, I'm gonna copy this line because I don't want to do a lot of typing. You probably don't want to do a lot of typing either. Play song. What does it want? Manic Monday. We can even copy and paste this. It's right here. There we go. Manic Monday. Cool. And if that's not so if this ends up being Monday, then it will say Monday equals Monday. That's true. Okay, so we're gonna print this, and it says, and then the computer goes, well, if it's Tuesday equals Monday, then it's false, and it's not going to print this, and it'll go on to the next conditional statement. And now from here, I'm just gonna copy this. Else if this is Tuesday, then I want this to be Tuesday's gone. I do know this song. And if not, oops, gotta press the backspace for that. Oh, sorry, gotta copy that again. Go again, Wednesday. Probably should have done this bit before the video. You can skip ahead if you'd like. I'm not making you watch this, just Wednesday. Oh, man, it's not even typing. Yeah, I really recommend you just skip ahead at this point. I definitely should have done this before the video. I'm gonna do this again. So yeah, I mean, this does take a little bit of time. Oh God, I'll make sure that's over here, starting a new line. Thursday. So as I do this, these, again, it takes time. It can take time to get through all the cases. So part of the joy and sometimes challenge of doing coding like this, or if you like actually spend a lot of time in the computer science world, which I know you're all going to be engineers or architects, or something of the sort, so you won't. But one of the issues that comes up a lot in coding is how do you minimize your work? Minimize the work that you have to do, and also minimize the work that the computer has to do. And so this is a whole lot. There is a way to make this. There is a way to make this. Oh, shoot, what have I done? There we go. There is a way to make this easier or less time consuming. There we go. Oh god, one more, then we're done. See, and that's the beauty of this copy and paste. Oh, if we had to type everything out, I think I'd lose it. I'm already losing it. The code, I mean, everything takes time. I'm not saying coding takes time. You can't be lazy about this stuff. And then what happens here? And then we say, oh wait, I missed something. Oh, okay. So let's just make sure this does work. Okay, if you highlight everything, so I missed something. I missed this one. So what happens here is that yeah, I missed this. If blue moon equals yes, then we're going to do this. If not, or else if, now we have to compare they're asking us to compare the number, the day of the month. So if day of month is, and this is for less than or equal to, here you go, less than or equal to, so two different symbols, 7, then we get this. Okay, then it goes through all of these conditions. Here we go. So if this is true, if the day of the month is less than or equal to 7, let's say it's 6, then it's going to go through all of these. And actually, I'm going to change this to an if statement. You would start with an if statement and then go into the else ifs. Now, if it does, then it goes through all these. And then the last one we would put is going to be else. If none of those are true, for every other case you put in, or you misspell Monday and you call it, Monday, the computer doesn't know what you mean. So in every other case, here we go, else any other unrecognized input display the song title days of the week. Probably to, because whoever's using it and doesn't put in the right day of the week, they don't know how to spell. Else if, or else, you just put else, you don't have to put anything else here. Else print, in any other case, you don't have to put anything else there. Play this song, days of the week. Or if you put like the days of the week in Spanish, I mean, of course you can go into your code and say, oh, if it equals Monday or lunes or you misspell Monday or it's lowercase, you can get all those cases, but this is the requirements. Okay, so now what happens if it's not a blue moon? Then it goes here. If the days of the week are less than or equal to 7, it will check any of these. If the day of the month is not less than or equal to 7, then finally in any other case, if the day of the month is 11:30, else it's going to print, I'll copy here, print Daydream Believer by the Monkees, I assume. Cool, that's everything. That's insane. That's a lot there. But now, okay, now it's all done. Now it gets fun because now you get to try it out, and you get to put in all the different scenarios. Is it a blue moon tonight? Yes. What day of the week is it? It's today is Sunday. It's the 17th today. What happens? Okay, play once in a blue moon. All right, let's do this again. Run it again. Is there a blue moon? No. What's the day of the week? It is, we'll say it's Tuesday now. What's the day of the month? It's 17. What's it? Okay, so it was, so here, the day of the month wasn't less than or equal to 7. So we went on to the else statement. We just printed Daydream Believer. Let's try one more. We'll say it's not a blue moon tonight. We'll say it is the 6th. And we'll say that it is, oh no, oh no. Okay, we got 2 more. So this one and then one more. So I didn't put the day of the week. I put a number. So now I know it's going to say, because it was a no, so it's, and the number is 6 less than or equal to 7. So now it's going to go through all these, see which day of the week I put. I didn't put a day of the week, so it's going to play days of the week. Because it needs to teach me how to, teach me the days of the week. There we go, days of the week. Now one more. Let's see. Let's actually see one of the days of the week. No, it is, let's say, Tuesday, and it is the 6th. There we go. Tuesday's gone. So I don't know. I mean, got all these. So if you were working with data, if you're going to be using this in the future, you're probably going to be working with data. Maybe it says schedules for architecture, or you're kind of studying. I mean, art engineering is a huge field. It's mostly going to be data. Then you can use statements like this to sort through that data or make decisions. And you don't have to look through the data yourself. You get the computer to do it and make the decisions for you. And then you can use that code again and again. You don't have to, yeah, the code might take time to make, but you can use that code again and again whenever you have the same issue or you tweak it or anything like that. So it saves time, and it's a great tool. Maybe you'll use it, maybe you won't, but who cares? I mean, this is what many people are using nowadays. And even if you don't ever use it, at least you know now how all of this works, and you get better with your putting your intentions into whatever system that you're using. So that's chapter 4. Next time, let's just have a look ahead. The next one is the chat box, where we're going to be, lost my train of thought, finding and fixing problems. So what happens if you didn't do this code right? Deleted a parentheses, and you click run. There's an error. What do you do? What do you do? Do you give up and just submit? No, you read this and you figure out the problem. It's around this area, and then you click it. And then there's also this debug option, which is, oh, this is insane. We're not gonna do that now. That's next time. That's also super helpful, but we're gonna do that next time. So thank you. Hope you enjoy.